Most beginner traders enter blindly and hope. Today I will show you exactly how I set up a live signal. Then I will show you whether Friday's signal worked or not. Let's get into it. The first thing that's worth saying this morning is that around 5 a.m. UTC plus 7 this morning, so 2200 UTC, the market tanked because Bitcoin dropped about 4%. And the others, if you check this out, the whole market sank nearly 9%. So hopefully nobody got caught in a long trade. If you were in a short trade, woo! Hopefully you took those profits before it starts climbing back up. So as usual, I always start my day going around PulseFlow, and today is Monday, so we get lots of insights that we only get once a week. I start with the weekly session intel. This tells me how the PulseFlow signals performed in the Asia, London, New York market and the closed session. Because although the stock market closes, Forex closes, crypto is 365 24/7. So I also monitor the closed session to see how the signals did in that. So last week, the best performing market was Asia. The best day of the week was Wednesday, and suddenly I saw a pattern. The best day the week before was Tuesday. The week before was Monday. The week before, Sunday. Let's see what next Monday brings on that, whether it's just pure coincidence. The two best performing strategies during these sessions were liquidity hunt or liquidity sweeps and order blocks, both in the closed session, which can often happen. I then moved to strategy rankings. Last week, the clear winner was institutional liquidity. I have like 3 names for it. I need to clean that up. Liquidity hunt, institutional liquidity, and then I actually call them liquidity sweeps. I'm going to change it to that. So that was the best performing strategy. The bulk of them did very good. The consolidations was the weakest. If we move to strategy by volume tier is I segregate out the high volume, mid volume and low volume coins of all of the, I think 429 trading pairs we have at the moment in PulseFlow. And the winner on all was liquidity hunt. So I thought, okay, let's see if I can find a good liquidity hunt signal for this morning. And I think I did. Gonna zoom in. AT USDT. It's a low volume tier, but the volume's not bad compared to some of the other volumes. It's nearly 5,000 a minute. Now, going its own way was detected 46 minutes ago. Liquidity sweep was 2 hours ago. Fair value gap was 2 hours ago. And the volume spike was about the same time as going its own way. Now, what's interesting here is that the bulls are in control. It's steady, but it's not accelerating and it's not slowing down. It's steady. It has had 0 bearish signals within our system. And I had to check my database just to make sure of that. And it's true, it hasn't had a single bearish signal. It's only had a bullish signal. And the trading card shows you this, bullish only, bull beast, 4 days for max profit. No clear entry pattern. Sometimes it says drops down before it goes up or rushes up first, then pulls back. Let's check it out on the chart. As usual, here it is. I've not done any setup. Let's look at a higher time frame first. Okay, so there we see maybe why it's not had any bearish signals, because the PulseFlow trend works that the SMA 50 on the 4 hour, which is the blue, is above the SMA 200 in yellow. And because this is a new coin, we've only had 200 4-hour candles not long ago, so it wouldn't have been traded at all. And since that time, it's been in an uptrend, so only got bullish signals. So that answers that question. So what I'm going to do as usual, I am going to do some setup so you don't have to sit through it and get bored to death. Back in a minute. Okay, there we go. Today I've just put points of control on, but I did take a little bit of time and look at order blocks as well. So what's interesting here is that if you turn off order blocks for a second, you can see that when Bitcoin tanked, and I'm going to show you that Bitcoin tank. There you go. Bitcoin dropped about 4%, 3.37. But if you look at Bitcoin, it's dropped all this way down but hasn't recovered yet, whereas AT actually tanked for that period of time around the same time, but has actually fully recovered. Very good sign. So let's do some more, because I noticed on order blocks on the 4 hour that it has this huge few, like 2 or 3 bullish order blocks that are acting as fantastic support. And also, let me turn them off. I'm going to bang on about this every day. Points of control, everybody. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. See, points of control, even if you look at those 2 points of control there, you've got 2. It's bouncing between them. It's resistance, resistance, then breaks through, then comes down as support. But the lower one is where it sat for a very long time, bouncing around in between it. Ignore them at your peril, I would say. So, order blocks. So very strong order blocks there. And we have a very strong bearish order block up here, which is just below, the bottom of it is just below this POC. So I'm probably going to put profit target somewhere around here initially, and then a second profit target, that higher one. Anyway, let's go back to 15 minutes. So what do we know? We know that the fair value gap was 2 hours ago, my 8:30 UTC plus 7. That was there. It comes in when those 2 candles close. It's not yet come back down to it. The POCY is above us, but look how, again, price has been rejected at that POCY. I'm going to keep repeating myself. If you haven't watched my videos before, I like a pullback. I'm a conservative trader, and if it shoots up, it shoots up. I never, ever, ever chase, ever. It's a golden rule. If I miss it, I miss it. PulseFlow always has another alert for me to check out. So what I would tend to do is put my entry back down here, around this POC, inside this fair value gap that had a break of structure. And I think I said I would put at this profit target here. Let me just check the 4 hour. Yes, that's correct. So my first profit target would be there, and then the second one would be up there. So we're going after 6% out. It's 3.95% stop loss recommended by PulseFlow. Let's go down. Actually, that is not bad, but it really, I need to give it a bit more space, I think, because we've had this huge drop. Because if Bitcoin's not over with its huge drops, let's be a tad more conservative. Let's go beneath this order block here, just in case. So that's the setup. First profit target, 6.8%. Second profit target, 13. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Okay. On to Friday's signal, which was STRAX USDT. I've rewound the chart back to where we left it. And having just said this, I like things to pull back and come into a buy zone somewhere down here, right? I just like that. And because we'd had this huge run up here after the signal came in, sometimes the move is quick and it's over. So I wait for it to come back into this, and I am very patient. I don't care how long it takes. I will move my entry down. I will move my stop down. I will abandon it altogether. I don't need to take this trade. Every trade is the same for me. So here we are. So you'll notice I put a few things on the chart here. They're going their own way from BTC, which is a PulseFlow indicator I wrote just so that I could see if it was still going its own way. I have 2 actually. Whoops, that's the PulseFlow stop loss. Actually, let's see what it says at this point. 3.46, yeah. So it's going its own way. That's the now indicator on TradingView. This is the history indicator. So let's just clean this up a little. I am going to let this run a little. You ready? Did I miss it? Did it break down below my stop loss? Sorry, I'm just teasing. So at this point, you might be thinking, okay, it's gone without me, and that's okay. So what I did was I just set alerts and walked away thinking, well, who cares? And now at this point, I was like, okay, we've come back in beneath the VWAP. And the VWAP might now be acting as resistance, which is not a good thing for a long trade. So I did a setup just as it came in here. And by this time, by the way, this was 12 hours later, and it was late my time. So there's no way I take a trade. It's Friday night. I don't trade on weekends anyway. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I do not trade on weekends because the markets aren't open. They can tend to be manipulated more. BTC can, and that means the alts can. So I actually didn't take this trade, but let's see what happened to it. I put a new entry on. I'll bring it over here. Now let's let it play out. Oh, by the way, when I put the entry on, I was more conservative with my target. We'd got a lower entry in terms of the price that we were going to go in. And also there's these big bearish order blocks it has to pile through. So I thought, and it's turning into the weekend, right? So I thought, okay, just let it run, see what happens. For me, this is paper trading now. And there you go. It reached up to that profit target. It kind of pinged it there, but assuming you wouldn't have got out, it was either the next day in the afternoon. So very long time, right? But still, it did pan out. It broke back through and just kept going. It didn't even retest the VWAP. It just kind of went straight on. So there you go. I missed that trade, but I frankly don't care. But PulseFlow called it, but I think by the time that I saw it, the move was actually over because it came in. This was the break of structure, fair value gap break of structure. The VWAP bounce was here, back here. That's where the bounce was. And then the entry should have really been there. And you would have had 5% in about an hour, right? But sometimes you miss them. You can't see them all when they come in. So there you go. Let's see what happens to AT/USDT tomorrow. Will it pull back into my entry? Will it leave me behind? I have no idea. But we'll find out tomorrow. Please subscribe, like, and share. Have a great day. Bye-bye.